I was thinking just now about Glenn Maxwell. He's my type. Because he's the big show. And, the brain wanders, and especially when you're me. But, and then I got to thinking about the Big Bang. And then I was just sitting here in this damned traffic jam, and I was thinking, we should call the Big Bang. Well, we could call it the Big... Yeah, as if I'm going to get to 60 kilometres per hour in this traffic jam. Right, so I was thinking, well, I don't know about that term, the Big Bang. We could have called that the Big Show, or the Big Go, actually. The Big Bang is a bit misleading, because even the people who the person who coined the phrase the Big Bang, he invented that term as a term of disparagement. Neither he nor anyone else thought it was actually a bang, because things don't go bang in space. Not that we even know whether there was space back then, but bottom line, they weren't thinking it went bang. What he was doing, he was trying to poke fun at the whole idea of the universe, At the time, they thought the universe was small, and they went, At the time, people were saying, people, who were switched on to Einstein, they were saying that it started off nothing, went, and this guy went, pull the other leg. What, you're talking Big Bang? Like a Big Bang? And everyone listening, rather than say, don't be rude, and arguing back that way and having a little cry and all that sort of stuff, they went, gee, that's catchy. Even though it's not true, we doubt that it went bang. There was no, how can something go bang when it doesn't even exist? There's no matter yet. There's nothing, it can't go bang. But it's just catchy, so it caught on. And even the people who this guy, I forget who was it? I can't remember. It was someone famous, someone influential. I don't think it was Hubble. I don't know who it was, but he said, oh, what? You're saying it's a Big Bang? Yeah, right. And they said, Big Bang? That's catchy, And then forever and a day since, we've called whatever the start of the universe might be, a lot of people anyway, have called it, we don't know what it is, let's just, whatever it is, it is. It is what it is. That's reality. It is what it is. Even if we don't know what it is, it might be God, it might be Zeus. But whatever it is, we might be, we might have arisen from the mind of a small child, There might be some teenage pimply kid up there somewhere in another universe, and we're all a simulation, and that'd make him God, wouldn't it? And we're just code, like in the Matrix. It could be anything, We could have started it with nothing, and whatever it is what it is, Even if it's magic, even if it's God, even if it's not God, even if God knows, Doesn't matter what it is. But when you say something like it is what it is, that's kind of a fact, isn't it? That's like saying, a cat is a cat. You don't really have to define the cat very much. As long as you say a cat is a cat, you can't really be argued down very easily. And if you say that the start of the universe, was what it was and is what it is, you're not wrong. That's reality. And if you're not wrong when you say it is what it is, if you give that thing a name, even if it's a joke name, like the Big Bang, as soon as you give it a name, it doesn't take away from the reality that it is what it is, and the name then becomes what it is. So, I wouldn't call the Big Bang, broadly speaking, a theory. I'd call it a fact. I'd call it reality. In the sense that whatever the origins of the universe are and is, it is what it is. And that's a fact, you know. And if I happen to give that a name, if I call it the Great Zonk, you know, then it is, you know, the Great Zonk is a reality. It's not a theory. It's just a Great Zonk. You know, the word zonk is just an utterance, and same goes for Big Bang. All right, so it is what it is. The Big Bang, in this context, is not a theory. You know, theoretically, I could call it God, as long as I didn't start to specify what God was, and then it does become a reality at that moment in time. As long as I don't define God, you know, I could call it X. And the origins of the universe are X. You know, it's an algebraic thing. You know, the origins of the universe are and is God. You know, these are not statements of non-fact. These are statements of fact in the way that I'm expressing them. The origins of the universe are the Big Bang. It's not a theory. You can create theories around the reality of the Big Bang, you know, and start to specify what the mechanisms might have been in the origins of the universe and all that sort of thing. You know, it might have started as a plasma, and might have started as a singularity, might have started as a little quantum fluctuation, and you know, it might have started as this, and it might have started as that. As soon as you start sort of putting some meat on the bones, you know, then that meat you're putting on the bones, that meat becomes theory. You know, so if you start to say, oh, my theory is that the nature of the Big Bang was that it started off as a plasma, and there was fluctuations in the plasma, and then those fluctuations ended up being the galaxies that we know and love right now. All right, you can say that, but they're all theories, you know. Yeah, I'm doing about 10 now. She's very helpful, but she interrupts a lot. All right. But I was thinking, you know, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, the Big Bang, we don't know whether that's true or not. Oh, it's true. Depending on how you use the phrase, you know, for reasons, you know. The way I'm saying the Big Bang is a reality is the same, you know, it's one and the same thing as me saying that the origins of the universe are the origins of the universe, or it is what it is. You know, it's equivalent. You know, all those things are equivalent statements, you know. The same goes with God, you know, like if you say, look, I don't know what the origins of the universe are. Now that's a good statement of fact. There's nothing wrong with that comment. I don't know what the origins of the universe are. That's not a bad statement. And I can say, but I'm going to, given that I don't know what they are, you know, there's no theory involved in any of what I'm saying here. Given that I don't know what the origins of the universe are, I'm going to call them X, you know, in an algebraic sense, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. It's X. And someone can come up to me and say, I call the origins of the universe X, whatever they are, you know, even if there is no origin, you know, even if the universe has been going on forever, somehow, you know, in some sort of recurring universe, you know, Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch, forever and ever and ever, and it's been going on forever, you know, even if it's something like that. A big expansion, and then back to density, and back to God knows what. I'll call it X. And I could go, and then someone comes up to me and, you know, I'm not sure X is real. I say, it is real. X is true. And, they say, I don't know whether that's true, that the universe started as, the origins of the universe are X. I'll say, no, it's an internal, it's a circularity that I've created. It's an internal consistency. It's a, it's a fact, because it's a fact in the way I expressed it. It's a language thing. It's not something that's out there. It's something that's in my head. It's an inside my head kind of fact that the universe, the origins of the universe are X, and they say, actually, I'll switch X for God, and God can be my algebraic expression. And then someone comes up to me and says, God is real. And they say, you can't say God is real. I say, yes, I can. As long as I don't specify what God is in any way, shape or form. If I'm using God in the sense that I use X in an algebraic formula where I say X plus 2 equals Y, but I don't specify Y, then I'm not wrong, because I haven't actually put any meat on those bones yet. So that's the way that works. So God is real in that context, in the way I expressed that reality. My language made it a fact. And but be all that as it may be, I was thinking, all right, Glenn Maxwell, he's the big show. So, I'm not sure about the Big Bang being called the Big Bang, because it just does well, there's your problem with the Bible in a way. If the Bible, if you open the Bible and it just had 5 words in it, and there's a Holy Bible according to, Bob, and it's, instead of in the beginning, God made the universe in the dark. The universe was made in the dark, by the way, because light came a lot afterwards. There was no light at the start of the universe. But I remember Eddie Izzard. I love Eddie Izzard. He made a joke about, the planets and us and all that. God made man and all that sort of stuff. How that happened on the 3rd day, was it, in the Bible? And you start to put meat on the bones then when you say on the 3rd day, God made light. That's what it was, yeah. And he said, what does that mean? He made I can't remember the order, but did he make the sky and the earth and all that sort of stuff, and then he made light? Eddie Izzard was poking fun at that, which you can do. And then, are you saying he made all the other stuff in the dark? Well, actually, that pretty much appears to have happened, that light wasn't the first thing that came along in the universe. We had photons afterwards, after a few other things. Anyway, all that. The problem with the Bible, perhaps, is that it says anything. Not just something, but the fact that it even says anything is a bit of a problem. I think the perfect Bible, if you wanted to make God real, because you don't even have to ask the question, is God real or not? You can define God in such a way as to make him real. And the way you would do that is write a Bible like this. So the Holy Bible according to Charlie. And you'd go, you'd open the book, and there'd only be 5 words in there. And the 5 words would be, it is what it is. Full stop. You could add another sentence, and what that is God. Full stop. Now, there is nothing unfactual about that, because it's all in the way it's said. But the minute you start to say, and then he had a holy son called Jesus and all that sort of stuff, and he was born of Virgin Mary, you start to open yourself up for, pull the other one, that brigade. But if you hadn't have said all that stuff, if you had kept it short, like I don't, in general, then you could have had it, the idea that God is a fact, God is real. The same goes for the Big Bang. The Big Bang is real as long as you don't say anything about it. The minute you start developing ideas around, what it might have looked like and all that sort of stuff, all right, those ideas that you're developing, they're theories. Nearly ran into a blue car. Those things are theories. But the Big Bang itself, in that context, is not a theory. It's a fact. It's real. Glenn Maxwell, he got into the team of the World Cup series. You know, the greatest team. Him and Zampa, because he's amazing. And they call him the Big Show. I was thinking you could just about rename the Big Bang the Big Show. It wouldn't be a theory. You know, just call it the Big Show. You haven't really said anything about it. But I was thinking, then I got to thinking, no, you can't call it the Big Show because Glenn Maxwell's the Big Show. So I was thinking, what would I call it? You know, I don't like the Big Bang actually because it's got baggage now. Like you talk about the Big Bang, you say, oh, blah blah blah, the Big Bang. Big Bang's just a theory. And I said, no, it's not. I haven't said anything about it yet. It's not a theory. It's a fact. You know, just like God is a fact, and just like X is a fact, and just like it is what it is a fact. And I was thinking, you know what I'd call it? And I'd call it the Big Wow. Yeah, I like that. The Big Wow. I think I should write off to Nature magazine, and it'll be the best article ever. I've got 2 articles, one after the other. One on a Tuesday, one on a Wednesday, and then another one on a Thursday. You know, it'd be a trilogy. And on the first day, I would write, "It is what it is." And that'd be my paper. It'd be the most famous article in Nature ever published. And then the next day I'd say, and what it is, ... just to get build the tension. You know? And then on the Thursday, I would write an article that went like this: ... the Big Wow. I hope that was a bit of fun.